Hi, I'm Cress. I'm from Henny Penny's Kitchen. Today we're going to make a zombie chili in honor of the Walking Dead season premiere. So with most chilies you use ground meat, kidney beans, tomato sauce, chili powder, and things like that. But in honor of Walking Dead, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to use some stew meat and use the red kidney beans, some diced green chilies, and some tomato puree. So what I've already done to prep to speed up the time is I've taken the 2 pounds of stewed meat. And with the 2 pounds of stewed meat, what I've done is lightly sauteed them in a pan. And I've added 1 cup of the tomato puree, which you can find at your local grocery store. And I've also gotten I think it's 1.5 package of the chili meat, the chili seasoning sauce. So what I did is I dumped 1 full package of it in and just kind of eyed it. Of the half a package of the second one. So there's 1.5 package of the chili mix seasoning. So I've seasoned it. I'm letting that saute down, and I'm going to show you a picture of what it's looking like. It's smelling really delicious. And what I'll do is while I bring the pan over, I'm going to add the diced green chili so you can get an idea of what it is. Now please keep in mind that the chili can be seasoned how you like it. If you don't want it to have so much spice or overly seasoned, you can also always decline this recipe down to 1 package of the chili seasoning. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab it and let's see. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna show you what I've got going in the pot. Of course, like we talked about, I have the meat and everything in there, and of course the seasoning package that we talked about is in there. The only thing that I needed to put in there, besides I already put the tomato paste in there, it was 1 cup of tomato paste. The next thing we're gonna do is put the chilies, and my daughter comes down the stairs. So what I'm going to do, let me tilt it down so you can see what we're looking at. Doesn't look delicious. This is a beautiful red roux. Got beautiful chunks of stew meat in there, and normally of course this would be all ground and you could do this in a 1 pot, but because of I wanted to control a little bit more of my cooking and make sure I got all the meat cooked down nice and low, I use this pot, and I like it. I will, when I need to, put it in a bigger pot to make my chilies. So what we're going to do is this right here is 3 cans of diced chilies, and I want you to look and see. You have to be careful that you get the right ones, because if not, the chilies you'll get are going to be chopped, or they might end up being even whole. So I'm going to dump these in there, and you can use more or less. And of course, what I like to do, of course, what is a chili without any beans? So what I've got here are 1 can, actually no, this is actually 2 cans of red kidney beans. Now of course, if you want to go really authentic, you always can do the soaking and do homemade kidney beans. But if you're doing quick time, these are great. And what I do with these is I open up the can and I drain them, rinse them, get all that starch off, because they've been sitting in the can, they have a whole bunch of starch. So once I rinse off the starch, I get these beautiful individual kidney beans, and not that gloppy stuff there that gets underneath it, all that starch, stuff like that. So I'm going to pour that into my pan. So you can see we're getting some nice layers there, adding it all up. And last, what I'm going to do to simmer this down is I have 1 cup of beef broth. And that beef broth is just going to add some more. All right, Piggy Timer, work your magic. Well, guess what? Yes, I've taken off my glasses, but also it's time for us to check our Walking Dead chili. So what we've got here, let's take a look at it. So beautiful. Let me get a spoon so you can see, but if you can get in there and see those nice meat chunks, this is not a regular chili. We've got those nice big chunks of meat in there. We've got our kidney beans in there, and mind you, this is a fast chili too. It doesn't take all day, because I don't have all day. I've got to get to my show. My show's going to be starting, we'll say, in a couple of hours. So what I did do while seasoning, I waited and I tasted it a little bit, and I like mine to have a little bit more spice and flavor. So I did go ahead and add, while it's cooking, the full pack of the chili seasoning. So instead of doing 1.5, I went ahead and added that other portion of the chili seasoning. So I'm going to grab a spoon so you can see what we've got. Now let's see. Beautiful chunks. The chilies have blended in there. The beans look just beautiful. But you know what? At this point in time in the cooking, if you want to, you could stop and you can serve the chili at this point. But I'm a Texan, so I like my meat to just fall to pieces. Some people don't like it like that. So you can keep the meat integrity like this, or you could throw that meat back on that pot for a little bit longer and let it get really, really melt in your mouth. Just fall to pieces, and you see it's getting there. But I would just give it a little bit more time and eye it. I say maybe another 10 to 20 minutes approximately, just depending on how I feel. And of course, like any recipe, this is always seasoned to taste. So what I'm going to do is, to the wonderful beauty of the video time, I'm going to put it back on the pot, and then I'll show you what it comes up looking like when I serve it. So just bear with it. All right, so I've let the chili cook a little bit longer. It looks like we've got a beautiful chili. My family's sitting down eating, so if you hear any noise, that's what's going on. So let's take a look at the way I played it. My husband came out with a wonderful idea with this chili. Because it's so hearty, he opted and said something about perhaps having some rice with it. So of course this chili would be great over some rice. I prefer not to have the carbs, so I just will have protein, as if that makes a difference with everything I've loaded in. So let's take a look at what this chili turns out to be, okay? As you can see here, the light's not shining so bright. I've got some beautiful jalapenos on there. I've got some cheese,